Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I'm glad you're here. And guys, I want to take a quick second and thank all my channel members. Thank you all so much. And I'm going to invite any of you who are new or haven't had a chance yet to please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon next to it. It would help the channel out, and it'll also notify you when I release new content and go live and things like that. Today's kind of a special overview, long-term, really overview, and long-term being about 10 days. And this is a knife brought to me by my local buddy, A to Z EDC. So A to Z EDC has gone to Blade Show with me the last 2 years. A lot of you guys know him. Give him a follow on Instagram. He's got killer knives. He's the so far the only person I'm bringing some of his collection in that I hang out with to go over it with you guys and share it with you. But give A to Z EDC a follow, and I will talk to y'all about this big boy knife. So I did about a couple of months ago a review on the Hinderer Bowie. I should have grabbed the Emmett Bowie when I picked this up, but I don't think he wanted to be without both of his Hinderer fixed blades. But the Ranch Bowie, as we'll come to find, is the Emmett Bowie's bigger brother. I guess you would call this, in my terms, in my world, this is a full-sized fixed blade knife. It is an absolute handful. It would be a great camping knife. It would be a great hunting knife. It would be a great apocalypse knife. You name it, this knife, I'm sure, could pretty much handle it. Let's just be honest. It's more knife than somebody like me needs, but it's awesome just nonetheless. So Hinderer fixed blades. When I got the Emmett Bowie from A to Z EDC, and I carried that knife for a while, it was on the larger size of a fixed blade EDC for me, but it was a great size because, again, I've just recently started EDCing fixed blades. So beforehand, I would consider it a great EDC for going on camping trips, for going on hikes, for using an EDC where EDCs are more expected, I guess you'd say. And I really liked that knife because it kind of bridged that gap between what I thought I would carry and what I was able to carry. And with this guy, I have carried it on weekends. I've carried it in the evenings. I have carried it on my belt horizontally. And all I can tell you is if I was hiking, if I was hunting, this is a fantastically made leather sheath. And then I'll get to the punchline. With great retention, has a belt strap that works both with my skinny belts or even with my ballistic belts. Guys, I have no use for a vertical dangler. It just makes me feel like, I don't know, I don't like it dangling down my leg. Needless to say, I carried it, and that would be the first thing that I would have to no-go on for a knife like this size, is I do not know how I would carry the thing. If I strapped it to my pack, that would be one thing. Um, I have to carry Scout, and I have to carry, or in my pocket, and this knife just lends itself to fantastic tasks and can get a lot of work done. Let's see if it'll cut paper. Hold on a second. But for me personally, it would not be a primary EDC knife. It would be more of a, and it is sharp. I'm just not good at slicing. If I could get a straight cut. Anyway, it is sharp. It's again a little higher grind than I would probably prefer, but at the same time, of a big meaty fixed blade like this, I think it's exactly probably what it needs. Maybe a little strop, but you've got this forward finger choil, which is fantastic. You've got this big batoning handle for if you need to chop or cross cut or, really work a fire stick to get a fire started. This grip absolutely fills my hand. And when I go up to the choil, I've got the jimping here that's very aggressive, but it's not painful. He does have a lanyard on it, which I have no problem with that on fixed blades, even on slip joints. I just haven't done it yet. I've not gone to the paracord store. Do a couple of quick size comparisons, and we'll look at it next to the Cold Steel Formax. And the Ranch Bowie is indeed longer than the Formax. So let's talk about some of the regular knives I carry on the daily, and even these are going to lean towards the bigger, with the exception of this one. This is my little Jason Grant J-Cal, my little Pacunta chisel grind, I want to call it. I don't know why I call it a Pacunta. But then here is my little bit larger J-Cal and what I call the Wicked Cleaver. And again, these are larger knives, but they're still very, very EDCable for me. Then we go to the knife that I told you guys was the first knife I bought before I was going to try to EDC every day. And I always loved this knife. That's my S35VN SE3. But I found it too big to carry every single day, right? Which brought me to the Bradford Guardian 3 with Shane's help in his trade. And again, this is a little bit on the large size of what I like to carry. And this knife's a great knife to carry. I love the sheath that came in. I love the retention. I love the 3D scales I put on it. It stays right where I put it. But as you guys know, the SE3 is fantastic. I've got it on an ulti clip. I usually keep it on my pack, or I'll keep it on my belt if I'm hiking, but it's on the larger size of what I carry. And as you guys can tell, it's much smaller than the Ranch Bowie. And then a couple of my new additions that are shorter, but that are maybe heavier. Got the shed knives, also made in USA, Resilience, as were the J-Cals and the SE3 and the Bradford. And then the shed knife Skur, both of which are very much shorter, but you can see that the blade stock's going to be thicker on the Skur and the shed. So if y'all remind me, or future me reminds me, I will try to weigh the Hinderer, and we'll see how it compares to the Chunky Monkey Skurs. But guys, I can't stress to you how well this Micarta is done, how authentic I would say it feels. It feels very quality. The tang, this is CPM 3V, so it's a very good outdoorsy steel. You've got this nice swedge here, very nice jimping that's aggressive but not at all painful. And I mean, I would think this is just an absolute bruiser. You could chop with it, you could cut with it, you could survive with it. So if we were going to get the overall dimensions of this knife, this thing comes in at over 10.5 inches, right under 10 3/4, right? So full-size knife. So if we look at the blade, we're right over 5 1/4, right under 5.5. So 5.5 inch blade, we'll call it. We'll call it a 5 1/4 inch handle. The blade stock on this CPM 3V is 0.185. And the swell, I don't know if you can see, that's a contoured handle, but I'll get you a dimension here at the swell. 0.91. At the skinniest part, 0.67. So well over 1/2 inch, almost an inch there in the center. And then since you guys reminded me, we will get a weight. 10.65 ounces. And then in the sheath, I'm just easing it in the sheath, guys, so I don't cut my hand off. 15.3. And then if we look at the resilience in the sheath, 10.95. So the Hinderer is indeed heavier, 10.55. So yeah, guys, that is the Hinderer Ranch Bowie. I don't know what else I could tell you guys, except if you're looking for a full-size, well-made American knife that you can really put through the paces, that you're going to use as an outdoors knife or as your primary get-it-done knife, look at the Emmett Bowie, this little brother, look at the Ranch Bowie, and see which one suits your hand, your carry better. These you'll find on different drops in different blade steels. They're also pretty available on the secondary. I want to say the Emmett Bowie goes for around 250. I want to say this one goes for around 300 for a USA made blade. I think it's their price is very comparable to other knives in their class. We'll say that. But guys, I appreciate you checking out the video anytime you stop by my channel. I'd appreciate it if you go and give A to Z EDC a follow if you like some of the knives he shared with the channel, because he's got more cool ones. And then I will just ask you guys to please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart. Choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.